What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be reviewing the Flash's Armageddon arc as a whole, and then at the end I'm going to be giving you guys my rating for it out of 10. So yeah, with that being said, let's just start off with episode 1. So, in episode 1, guys, we had Ray Palmer make his return, which was absolutely awesome to see. I really liked his storyline in this episode. I didn't particularly like his storyline with Chester, but it was so-so. It was all right. And then you had Despero's first appearance as well, or Despero. I guess I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time, but Despero's first appearance here as well. I thought he was a really cool villain, and he actually looked very, very good as well, and I really liked him and the Flash's first fight with the Atom as well. That was really cool. That one scene where Barry used flash time to stop those villains, that was really cool. But the Royal Flush Gang, the villains that I was talking about, I really did not exactly like them. I mean, they were all right, but they're not, they're not the best. They're not like the first choice I'd have as like a flashback villain to have on the show. But other than that, I thought this episode was pretty decent. It wasn't amazing or anything. It definitely was pretty decent. I also really liked when Barry, found out that he was the one who supposedly caused Armageddon. But yeah, all in all, I'd say that this episode, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. So yeah, let's move on to episode 2, and this is where it started getting really bad for the Flash. Basically, he loses his job in this episode. Despero is still a very big threat. He also loses Star Labs, all this stuff. He attacks his team because of a villain that made his mind go crazy, that made him attack his team. And then in the final scene of this episode was absolutely amazing. We find out that Joe is dead. Barry, he's just thinking like, yeah, let's go get some lunch at Joe and Cecile's. And then everyone's like, why are you saying that? Joe's dead. And then Barry has to, find out why this is happening, all that stuff. And even at the end, we see Thawne wearing Barry's face. Of course, we didn't know that at the time, but we see him causing havoc across the city. And Barry thinks that he did it along with everyone else because obviously Thawne was wearing his face. And I thought this connected beautifully. This was a fantastic episode, and I would give it a probably like a 9.3 out of 10. So now let's move on to episode 3, and in this episode we see Barry ask Black Lightning for help. He wants Black Lightning to remove his power so then he's no longer a threat to the world, as obviously Barry thinks that, he's being manipulated to try and, destroy the world and all that stuff because, Despero tells him that he's going to cause Armageddon. So now Barry is really starting to believe that. In this episode we also have Dion up here, and I thought his role in the episode was actually pretty good. I really liked that. But then you have Top making her return, which not exactly a fan of that, but honestly I don't really care about that. That's fine, that can happen. Cecile and Top storyline, it wasn't awful, it was all right. Them both trying to locate Barry, I thought that took up like a lot of the episode, which I didn't really expect, and I wasn't particularly a fan of. But the other stuff in the episode made up for that because the other stuff was so good. We eventually get a fight between Black Lightning and the Flash, which I thought was absolutely amazing. And then of course the ending was so good. We have Barry finding out that Reverse Flash is the real one manipulating all of this, and Despero is not right about Barry being the one to cause Armageddon. Well, obviously he is right about Barry causing Armageddon, but for a different reason. I just thought all of this connected great, and I think all of this going into episode 4, I was really excited because of this little Reverse Flash cliffhanger at the end of episode 3. So episode 3 I would probably give about an 8.5 out of 10. So now moving on to episode 4, we have a Reverse Flash and Iris being married in the future. Barry's like, wait, what's going on here? All that stuff's happening, and this is one of the more controversial episodes, I feel like. I still thought this episode was absolutely amazing. There's just a few problems with it here and there. Obviously, Barry travels to the future, that being 2031, and he finds out all this stuff about, what's been happening. He finds out that Reverse Flash has made himself be the one struck by lightning instead of Barry, so now Barry is the Reverse Flash, and Eobard Thawne is the Flash, which I thought was awesome. I really like Damien Dark's role, his determination to save his daughter, so he helps Barry restore the timeline. I really like that aspect of the episode. But there's just like a few things that I really didn't like. First of all, Ryan Choi, I think he's a great character, but his role in the episode didn't particularly like it. His Atom suit was absolutely awesome. That one scene where he came in and saved, I think it was Chillblaine and Frost from Damien Dark. I thought that was pretty cool in his new Atom suit. But the scene where he's talking to Alex Danvers about, why don't you love, all that stuff, there was no reason for that. And also, the stuff between Allegra and Chester, I really don't care about that relationship very much. I don't know why that got so much screen time. I think Chester's a pretty cool character. I think Allegra, the only purpose she really adds to the show, I feel like, is, with Iris's reporter storyline. So I'm not exactly a fan of, her having a huge role in the show, but, it's whatever. But yeah, still the rivalry between Reverse Flash and the Flash, even though they're basically each other. Damien Dark's role, all that stuff just made up for all the bad stuff I didn't really exactly like with Chester, Allegra, and Alex Danvers, all that. But still, even with those, kind of bad things, I would still give this episode a shocking 9.5 out of 10 because all the other stuff just made up for it, and this episode was still amazing. So yeah, now moving on to Episode 5. At the end of Episode 4, we find out that Eobard Thawne, aka the Reverse Flash, is still alive, and he's back in his normal yellow suit. And I think, I think they definitely got to find a way to bring him back, even though now he doesn't have his speed. But anyways, in Episode 5, we find out that Eobard Thawne is basically being erased from existence, and he needs the Flash's help in order to, not be erased from existence. We also see Mia's appearance. That was pretty cool. She's a pretty good character in this episode. And I really like the confrontation when Barry is talking to Reverse Flash when he's locked up, about what Barry goes, "What did I ever do to you?" and all that stuff, how, basically Reverse Flash is revealing more of his origin, which I think was really cool. The final fight between the Flash and Despero when Barry gets his gold boots, that scene was absolutely awesome. And then, of course, you have the end scene where Barry ends up restoring Thawne's timeline so that he can still be alive, but as a result, he has to take away his speed, and then we find out that Thawne gets locked up in Argus, and then in the cliffhanger, we find out that Nora and Bart ended up time traveling to 2014 for some reason that we'll obviously have to find out in Episode 6. But yeah, with all of that being said, guys, my final score out of 10 for Armageddon, I would give it a 9.1 out of 10. So overall, a very, very good 5-episode stretch. And I'm really excited for what else they've got for us in Season 8. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys comment your thoughts on this video down below, as well as your own ranking and, ratings out of 10. What did you guys rate each episode, and what did you guys rate Armageddon as a whole? And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.